Welcome back. Today we're reading Chapter 4. Journey to the center of the earth. The fiery foe. Chapter 4.
Realm of the Reergs.
Lars' blonde head was the first to emerge from under the slab. His eyes swept right and left. The bats had vanished. "Come out," he ordered the others gruffly. The three explorers crawled out from under the big slab. Gertrude, however, remained beneath its concealing cover. "Gertrude," coaxed Big Lars, his giant hand tenderly stroking her white feathers. At last, the reluctant duck felt safe enough to join them.
"Gee, Uncle Oliver,"
Cindy exclaimed, her fingers smoothing down her red hair.
"Who would have blown that whistle and called off those ugly creeps?"
Professor Lindenbrook shook his head silently. Scientists do not make idle guesses, and he had not the slightest evidence on which he could base any conclusion.
"Perhaps," he said only, "we may learn that answer, Cindy, when we go on a bit farther."
Already, Lars was cutting new steps for them to use as they continued down the smooth, dark lava slope. 10 minutes later, the slope began to flatten out. The ground ahead was pitted with tiny holes.
"Pumice?"
suggested Alec, a bit questioningly.
"Yes,"
The professor replied.
"This is an area of some volcanic activity. And that means this is a dangerous area we should pass through as rapidly as possible."
His warning words seemed to inspire the group. Big Lars increased his already long strides, and the others kept pace.
"Look!"
exclaimed Cindy after a few moments. Her hand pointed 100 yards ahead to a place where steam swelled up from tiny holes in the ground. The steam cloud hung low, shimmering and waving, a grayish veil between them and the unknown world beyond. Gertrude's warning was sharp and loud. As they stared at the steam cloud, they could make out dark forms moving within it.
"Something's coming towards us,"
Cindy whispered. The forms loomed larger, but were still vague as the drifting steam distorted them. Then suddenly, through the low cloud, a man emerged. His body was covered by a tight black uniform. Only his startling face was exposed. The egg-shaped head was an unearthly white. Not a hair could be seen on it. And where his eyes should have been, only deep, empty sockets could be seen. Cindy gasped and took a step back. A second man appeared, and then a third. And then half a dozen more quickly advanced toward them.
"We are friends,"
Brooke called out, offering an outstretched hand.
"The Reergs,"
A deep, toneless voice replied.
"have no friends. We have come looking for the Golden People,"
Lindenbrook continued.
"Let us pass on, and no one goes through the realm of the Reergs,"
the man responded in a flat voice.
"Keep back, I warn,"
shouted Big Lars. But the leading Reerg turned quickly toward the giant, and 3 other ghostly white undergrounders rushed for Lars. Lars's huge fist was already bunched up, and it struck out like a battering ram. Two fast jabs from Big Lars, and the nearest Reerg crumpled with a groan to the steamy wet ground.
"Run," urged Lars. "I keep them away."
But it was too late. 2 Reergs seized Cindy, and in seconds, Alec found his arms pinned behind him. Professor Lindenbrook had fared no better. He, too, was held firmly. In a moment, even the mighty Lars was pulled down. Although 4 of his attackers lay groaning around him, the others managed to bind Lars' wrists securely behind his back.
"Prisoners to Prince Walls,"
a Reerg commanded. 2 hands grabbed each of them and hustled them into the steam cloud. After a while, the cloud began to thin, and when they finally emerged, an amazing underground city loomed ahead. The homes had been built from carefully fitted black lava slabs, and beyond the rows of low, neat homes rose a 40-foot-high palace. Its sides and slanting roof were also made of great lava slabs. Before its tall entrance, 2 burly Reergs in black helmets stood long lava lances in hand. Sitting on a throne of jet lava slabs was Prince Wolz. His eyeless face was turned toward them.
"Strangers,"
offered one of the guards.
"They were sneaking, exploring,"
interrupted Lindenbrook.
"We come as friends. Friends from the world above who seek the golden people at the center of our planet."
Wall's right hand stroked a 2-inch-long golden whistle, which hung on a golden chain around his neck. His face was expressionless.
"We Reergs have no friends," he snapped. "Then guard us,"
suggested the professor.
"and let us travel on."
Ho, ho, ho! Wolz laughed. It echoed through the dark walls of the palace.
"No, your fate will be that of all who trespass in our realm. You will work as slaves in the lava pits."
Quickly, the 4 were blindfolded. Then Wolz spoke again.
"Do not remove the blindfold. It will save your sight when you pass over the river of fire."
Uh-oh. Wonder what's going to happen next. Join me next time for Chapter 5.
The count progresses.
Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time.